This award recognizes remarkable personalities that open paths for our community on a daily basis. It also represents a very important symbol of the strong ties that exist between Mexico and its diaspora. There could be no better place to present this award than here among friends and colleagues from NALEO. Secretary Castro embodies the true spirit of the Ohtli Award. His career is a clear example of high achievement and dedication. His work in community leadership and public service has produced a very important results that have had a very positive impact, not only on the Hispanic community, but on the lives of so many different groups and organizations. Only when he was 26 years old, Secretary Castro became the youngest councilman in San Antonio's history. From 2009 to 2014, he served as a mayor of his hometown, where he earned a very good and unique reputation as a national leader. As mayor of the vibrant city of San Antonio, where, by the way, I served as consul general also, ask me where I have not been as consul general. He made a very important achievements. The city launched the Decade for Downtown initiative, which attracted $350 million in private sector investment. During his tenure as mayor, the city also expanded educational opportunities to low-income students, including crucial early educational programs. As a result, more than 22,000 kids gained access to full-day preschool programs. That's so important. I was also a former mayor, so I envy you, Mayor. It came as no surprise that in 2011, the Milken Institute ranked San Antonio as the nation's top performing local economy. More often than we think, local politics have a national impact. Secretary Castro's performance in San Antonio reverberated in other parts of the country. His role as the first Hispanic keynote speaker at the 2012 Democratic National Convention motivated many Americans and Latinos to get involved in the democratic processes. Soon after, his work transitioned from the local to the national level. In 2014, he was nominated and confirmed to serve as the 16th Secretary of Housing and Urban Development of this country, the United States of America. Under his leadership, the Federal Housing Administration reduced mortgage insurance premiums to make home ownership more affordable. When President Obama nominated Mayor Julián Castro to serve as Secretary of Housing, he said, and I quote, "Julián ha vivido el sueño americano. For this reason, he will continue to work to make sure that more and more people can travel the very same path," end of quote. This is the spirit. This is the very same spirit of the Ohtli Award. Indeed, Ohtli means pathway. It means camino. It is a Nahuatl language. The award was established to recognize leaders that have traveled their own camino, but also leaders that continue working that road in order to make it clearer for other members of the community, just as Julián has done. Secretary Castro, your achievement has been indeed outstanding, even at your very young age. You're only 41, and you are already a leader. We are proud to have a representative of the Mexican, American, and Hispanic community that believes on success, not as an individual goal, but as the prosperity of the whole community. You have inherited the tenacity and self-determination of your mother and your grandmother, or tu mamá y tu abuelita, who worked tirelessly to guarantee better opportunity for you and for your family and for generations to come. As we look toward the future of the Hispanic community, I am certain that you will continue your hard work to open new avenues for the well-being, the prosperity, and the empowerment of the Latino community. For all these reasons and all these achievements, I am honored to bestow upon you the Ohtli Award. Will you please come over?
Good evening. Embajador Sada, muchísimas gracias. Es un gran honor. To Ambassador Sada, thank you so much for this great honor. It is a pleasure to be here tonight as a proud American who is also proud of my Mexican heritage. I want to also, of course, thank Arturo Vargas and all of the staff at NALEO. Let's give them a big round of applause, and to Secretary of State Padilla and all of the elected officials. Thank you, NALEO, for your advocacy and your leadership and the excellent advancement that you have been a part of. And to all of the elected officials in the room with us tonight, from our school board members to our city council members, our mayors, our state representatives and state senators, our federal elected officials, congressmen and congresswomen, Congresswoman Roybal Allard and Congressman Becerra, who are great representatives of the people, and also colleagues of my brother, Joaquin. You can tell us apart now. A little while ago, I was sitting down and they announced Joaquin, and everybody looked over there at me. I said, I'm not Joaquin. You know, he was born second, so he has a habit of being late. You know, my grandmother that I grew up with was named Victoria Castro, and she and her younger sister came to the United States from Mexico when she was 6 years old and her sister was 3 or 4 years old in 1922, because their parents had passed away and they were brought over by extended family across the border of Texas through Eagle Pass and eventually to the west side of San Antonio. My grandmother never made it past elementary school, and because of that, she worked her entire life as a maid, a cook, and a babysitter. But she eventually taught herself to read and to write. She spoke English and Spanish. She raised my mother as a single parent, and my mother was able to graduate from high school and become the first in her family to go to college. My grandmother had grown up in a time where some shops in Texas still had on their window, "No Mexicans or dogs allowed." She lived to see the tremendous progress that we have made in this country from generation to generation for the Mexican American community, the Latino community, and as Americans at large. My mother ran for city council in San Antonio when she was 23 years old. She was young and ambitious and full of energy and part of something called the Committee for Barrio Betterment that was a part of the Chicano movement at that time. And so Joaquin and I grew up in a household that valued democratic participation, where we learned that it counted to show up and to speak up for others. And one of the reasons that I'm so honored to receive this award here tonight is that that's what you do each and every day. Our elected officials from coast to coast. You stand up, you speak up, you make a difference. I know that I went into public service because Joaquin and I had the chance to go to the public schools of San Antonio and then go to Stanford University and to Harvard Law School. And I just felt blessed by the opportunities that I had that my grandmother never would have imagined were possible for herself or for my mother, but that Joaquin and I got. And I wanted to do my part to make sure that other folks could have those same opportunities. I want to thank you for all of the work that you do each and every day to make that kind of opportunity possible for the people that you represent. And I also want to challenge you to continue putting your energy and your talent to work to create that Ohtli, that pathway of opportunity for others that come after you. I'm also honored to receive this award because as someone who grew up in the state of Texas and had the honor of serving as the mayor of my hometown of San Antonio, I know that the relationship between the United States and Mexico is one of the most important relationships for each country. The cultural ties, the familial ties run very, very deep. They help define the quality of life throughout the southwestern United States and other parts. The economic ties between our two countries run very deep as well. Mexico is one of our biggest trading partners. That relationship is important. It makes a difference. And it is important today as well to foster that friendship, that positive relationship. And so I want to say thank you. Gracias, Ambassador, for your work in San Antonio, in Chicago, in LA, in New York, and now here in Washington, D.C. And to the entire group of Latino elected officials who are making a big difference in your own hometowns. The destiny of the United States in 2016 and in all of the years to come is intertwined with the destiny of the Latino community and vice versa. You're going to be a part of writing that brilliant future, not only for the Latino community, but for all of the United States in the years to come. Thank all of you.